guys? Welcome to ComicGains Live. It must be Wednesday because we're coming at you with a fist. And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is the Princess, Her Royal Highness, looking very low today, just like usual, doing that princess wave. You do too, bow and respect. And of course, there's the Coco dog.
Coco made it. I think our camera's a little higher today.
Yeah.
Someone must have been using the camera and readjusted it.
Should I move it a little bit?
Nah, it's fine. We just see our heads. The heads.
The floating heads.
Yeah. All right, guys. Today, like I said, today is Wednesday. We got a huge new comic book day. Massive, massive day. I think we spent way over $100. Oh, it's heavy on books this week. So, bunch of cool stuff happened. There is the new Skottie Young Big Marvels initiative that's kicked off this week, and there's definitely some negatives to that. There's some positives, but I think more negatives. But we'll get into that as we're looking through the books a little bit. Plus, surprise, surprise, we didn't have it in the thumbnail, but Ultimates is come out today. Ultimates #1 from the Ultimate World.
The new Ultimate series.
Yeah, it's kind of a tongue twister. Ultimates from the Ultimate Universe.
The Ultimates.
And it's ultimate. So we did get a chance to read that before the show as well, all three of us. Mm-hmm. So we will do a full spoiler review with spoilers. Because, spoilers make things taste a little bit better.
Yeah.
You add them in with your cooking.
Cooking? I don't know.
Are you getting thirsty?
Yeah, I'm getting a little thirsty.
Thirsty?
So I got here a new drink. I believe the princess got it for me. It's from Taiwan Classic. Bubble tea, coffee with tapioca pearls. 275 calories. Not too bad.
You're like reading out the calories now.
Oh, there it is.
What are the calories?
What? I'm just curious. I'm a little curious. Oh, shake well before opening and refrigerate after.
It's like...
It's not carbonated.
It's not?
I don't think so.
It sounded carbonated. I'm not a big fan of boba tea. I don't like those little black things that you get.
Yeah, make sure you pop it out so you can get the boba.
You like the boba?
Sometimes.
I don't know. I don't trust those things. What are they?
They're not bad.
What is this boba?
It's tapioca.
It is? What is tapioca?
I don't know.
It's like gel, plastic. Let me say hi to our friends that are joining us. We got Ciro in the house, first of the show. How's it going? Good evening, Ciro. Andrew is in here, the king of New Comic Book Day. I bet you had a big stack as well this week. This is a big one. Mighty Mike making it out. How's it going, Mighty Mike? Steve Sayer, how's it going? Princess says, does not have jeans on today, Steve. Sorry. Nucktech in the house. How's it going, Nucktech? Good to see you as always. We got, Stick Papa in the house. How's it going, Stick Papa? Good to see you. And Kenneth Bird has made it out this evening. I'm sure we'll have some other people trickling in. Just some quick updates for this weekend because ComicGains isn't always on Whatnot. So we whittled it down to one day a month most of the time. So this week we will be on and Princess will be on right after. So mark that in your calendar between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come hang out with us. Dollar starts, 30-second auctions. I can tell you all three of us have been putting together some crazy books that we want to sell at some crazy deals. So.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great lineup. We're going to have old books. We're going to have mid-tier books. We're going to have high-end books. We're going to have all the books you ever wanted in your life.
Young books.
Tell everybody about it. Let's have a fun
Hey, Mel. How's it going?
Hey, Mel.
So yeah, come join us. Plus I said, Princess doesn't talk a lot during the regular show, but she will talk and answer all your questions you ever wanted answered on her Whatnot show. All right, let's get into it, right? Let's get into the mix. We don't have a crazy long show, maybe, kind of depends because there's a lot of books to go over, but we got a rant to do. We're going on a rant today. Something's grinding Zach's gears. Francisco, what's up? The amount of covers is ridiculous. Yes, definitely. Matando, good to see Matando. Yes, the amount of covers is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh yeah. Next month is someone made mention of it. I think is next month the Deadpool Wolverine movie's coming out.
Yeah.
And they're coming. Someone said something about it. I need the popcorn bowl. Yeah, I need that Wolverine popcorn bowl that you get
Oh
on
yeah,
open
Princess
day
showed us
with,
that one.
with Wolverine's mouth open. You had to stick your hand in his mouth.
Definitely, yeah.
It's unique.
Oh, did you get to talk about X-Men 97 yet? We did like a little bit of review on the first couple episodes, and we watched the whole thing, and we absolutely loved it. Yeah, an amazing show on X-Men 97. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the second season. I heard a rumor that the showrunner is no longer with the company anymore for like weird reasons. So there's like going to be like a different guy running the show. So hopefully it's still just as good. But yeah, I think without like getting too crazy with all the like apocalypse stuff, at the end, without spoiling it too much, you guys have to watch. You can't spoil that show because it's too good to.
And they need to bring Rogue's butt back.
I don't think that's gonna happen, Zach.
I think it's gonna happen.
There's no initiative to bring back Rogue's butt.
I'm starting it today.
Sign the petition. Talk to your local congressman. Ooh, Steve said he got Batman 148 Scarlet #1. That's that G.I. Joe spinoff that was coming out. That had a really cool cover. Wolverine Blood Hunt #1 and My Adventures of Superman, which I think is based off a cartoon, if I'm not correct. So that's pretty cool. Let's talk about Apocalypse of Horsemen. Specklist. Ooh, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of different people that could be the Horsemen. And there has been a lot. All right. This week's comics. Let's kick it off. We got The Walking Dead Deluxe issue number 90. I think we're inching closer to Negan every issue. I think that would be the case regardless. But just pretty basic right now. I think there's a coup going on in the fort that they're staying at. Someone's trying to get rid of Rick, and they kind of stumbled upon it. The guy made a bad choice by being like gathering up a few people and be like, I think we should kill Rick. And it's like he's standing right behind me, isn't he? He's like, yeah, he's right there. So
happens.
Yeah. Ooh, Thomas Caps, what's up, dog? Coco, yeah, Coco's there's a bit of sunlight sticking in through the window, and she is right in that spot. Like she likes that last bit of sunlight. CLG in the house. How's it going? Ooh. Oh yeah, Steve saying hope more G.I. Joe characters show up. Yeah, it felt weird so far because in the Energon universe, you had like Transformers and Void Rivals, but so far no like just plain G.I. Joe book. They've had like Cobra, Duke, Scarlet.
The heavy hitters, okay.
Yeah, but not like a single issue. So we'll see where that goes. Vampirella put out a really beautiful book this week. There's Vampirella Dark Reflections, and I don't know if this is the regular cover, but Jenny Frizen did this banger of a cover. Banger. Ooh. I think a Destro mini. Oh, Destro coming up soon. Yeah,
Destro's
Destro.
pretty good too.
Yeah. I didn't realize G.I. Joe was that confusing. They like Cobra was actually from like a different dimension.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I didn't know that.
I don't think they probably had that in the original cartoon.
And I guess it was. I don't know.
You wouldn't make any sense. The kids would get too confused. At least at first.
I was confused. It's on the back page of Vampy. Oh, ooh. Wolverine Blood Hunt was amazing. Violent Wolverine fighting vampires. Enough said. Right? Mic drop.
Oh.
Star Wars High Republic issue number 8. This is the main series. I've talked about Star Wars High Republic. I really like all the books that are coming out right now from Star Wars, both Marvel and Dark Horse. I don't want to get into it because it gets a little confusing if you're not a big Star Wars dork like I am. But those white creasers on the cover. Those are the ones that actually if they look at a Jedi, they can sever their connection to the Jedi to the Force. So they're kind of cool. They've been kind of main baddies for quite some time. The big deal with this right now, though, is that character Lorna D, who was like that Twilight girl, but she had the sharp teeth and she was like a bad girl. Her first appearance has been kind of a big deal.
Okay.
She was one of the main villains in the first series, and as of lately, she's sort of flipping to the good side. So she's actually been hanging out with the good guys and traveling with them. So
changing team.
Yeah, it's a good character arc. Obviously, when you have somebody who starts out bad and then turns good, right? Everybody loves a good redemption story.
Milk's putting down some facts. both best remember that.
Yeah. Matano said, I'm waiting for Sergeant Slaughter solo book.
So,
I always thought Sergeant Slaughter was in charge of the Joes for some reason. I don't know why. It just seemed like he's in charge. Like, listen to me. Miss Marvel, Mutant Menace, issue number 4. This is pretty much the end of the Krakoa era. I think this is the second to last book in the series. I think it's also the last book of Miss Marvel's miniseries. This is the one written by Aman Vellani. So it's co-written. There's another writer too. So that's the actress who played Miss Marvel in the MCU. This is the really cool Peach Momoko variant cover. So she did a variant cover for each one. I really wanted to collect each of those. And the last issue was really cool. I didn't realize that as the mutants were dying and they were bringing them back to life through those through the eggs and stuff in the Krakoa, you know what they were doing with the bodies?
What?
They were like, the bad guys were collecting the dead bodies, like Orcus, and then they turned them into zombies.
Oh.
So that's this really cool issue where she got to fight a whole bunch of these like zombies that were used to be X-Men. So like, think like Cyclops and Nightcrawler and a bunch of people showed up and they were like dissolving as she was fighting. It was pretty cool. But I believe at the end of the book, she like runs into the Inhumans, and it was kind of like that, like looking at them like, oh yeah, I used to be one of you guys, and now I'm not. Now I'm a mutant. So, I saw Baki in the house. What's up? Welcome in, Baki, and Chris. Welcome in, Chris. Y'all interested in Space Ghost at all? I know issue number 2 came out this week, and I know from a friend that issue number 1 was really good. It actually came out through Dynamite Comics, so they released Space Ghost number 1, which not that familiar with the guy. That's why I didn't really jump into it.
There's been around for a while.
Yeah, Space Ghost is a really old character, and then when I was younger, there was that show Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah, I was thinking about
that was like a talk show thing. I never got into that.
I like the Mantis.
Yeah, I was always on. I'm like, I watch it for a little bit, and I'm like, I don't get what's going on in this show. But I've heard the book is really good. I heard the book is really good, so definitely recommend it. Cool. We've got Get Fury issue number 2, and it's cool. It's they're bringing back some Max comics, so that's an old title.
Yeah.
But this is written by Garth Ennis, so really famous comic book writer, known for his kind of bloody, messy sort of like
The Boys. Right?
Yeah, did he? Yeah, he did The Boys. Yeah, kind of like deconstruction of superhero. So I thought this would be cool. It's a set during Vietnam War. Nick Fury gets captured by the bad guys, and so he's in like a POW camp, and they're like want to get information from him, and he has all the government secrets, and they can't trust that he won't divulge it. So they're like, we got to send a guy in to either rescue him or kill him, and they're like, who do they send? The Punisher. So it's kind of cool. So the Punisher's like basically going in. It's kind of like this older war book.
What the heck?
Sort of thing. So.
But it's the Punisher before he became the Punisher.
No, he's got I think he has the suit on. Maybe not. Or it's Frank Castle. I don't know. It was cool. I mean, there's only been 1 issue, so we'll see how it goes. But Andrew said he really liked it. So yeah, I'm sticking with it as well. I remember when I looked at the first issue, he said he was seeming good. So I was going to give it a try for Garth.
Nice.
All right, we're getting close to the Skotties, guys. So I have this separated by the books as well, which we went way too crazy. We did order, like we normally do, 2 of each of the Skotties. We will probably not be doing that going forward on these. They're not as special as they should be, but we've got Amazing Spider-Man 51, and they got the regular cover A as well as the Skotties on that one. I don't know if we want to talk about Skotties now or later. What do you think, Zach?
Later.
Later, at the end? All right, at the end. So, Amazing Spider-Man 51. This Ed McGuinness did the cover. He's doing the interiors now for at least a little bit. Mm-hmm. Still written by Zeb Wells. Spider-Man is now Spider-Goblin. And it was actually a pretty cool twist of how he turned into it.
Okay.
So, I liked how it kind of like, he stumbled upon the fact that like Green Goblin was like Norman was secretly Green Goblin for the last little bit, even though he wasn't telling Peter, he was still pretending to be a good guy. And then the whole time he was pretending, Peter was also pretending. So he was actually like, he got he got Norman's like evil soul pushed into him. That
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But his like costume looked kind of crazy. The cover's cool. The McGinnis cover does look good, Mel. He did do a good job on this. So we'll see how it goes. You know, it's a whole different thing. But Sinister Six are going to be in it, and the interiors look really good. So
a lot of goblins.
yeah, there's always more. Well, gotta have more. Gotta go in goblin mode. Jimmy G.
Goblins.
Waving and bowing as always. Good to see you, Jimmy. Good to see you. Yeah.
Did someone say goblins?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, we can set maybe some of those aside. But we got Carnage, issue number 8, and this is the Groenbeck as the writer, and then Perez as the artist on these. This also came with a Skottie this week as well. Did get cover A. Carnage has been kind of a nice, simple story. Yeah, I've been kind of digging it so far. Carnage is obviously the main character of the story, but he's still like the antagonist, right? Yeah.
Antagonist.
Yeah, and the protagonist is Flash Thompson as Anti-Venom. And lately he's been kind of getting his butt kicked, so he kind of like got some help. So Liz Allen is showed up, and if you're up to date on the comics, she recently became a symbiote character called Misery.
Oh.
And so she is a mixture. She owns a company that had all the little samples from all the different symbiotes, and she's like a mixture of Carnage and Anti-Venom, I think, or Carnage and Anti-Carnage or something. She's a mixture of like 2 symbiotes. So, yeah, he's a weird Skottie on that one. Yeah, there's the we'll kind of get into that at the end, but I don't know if any of them were that good this go around. But Ghost Rider, Final Vengeance, issue number 4. I think that's Robbie, isn't that Robbie's costume?
Yeah, it looks like.
It looked like Robbie. I don't think Robbie's in the story though. I like Robbie's costume a lot though, but. What is it? Acts of Final Vengeance? That's what I said, right? No, Final Vengeance. Ghost Rider, Final Vengeance. I went with the variant cover. It looked way cooler than the other one. There is a Skottie that goes along with it. Got that one as well. The Red Hood. Not the Red Hood. The Hood. I want to say the Red. The Hood is Ghost Rider right now, and he's a bad guy. So, like, he is Ghost Rider, but he's just straight up bad guy. So he moved to Chicago. He, like, figured out all the crime families that are in charge, and he's like, I'm going to kill each of you and become the new godfather of Chicago. Which has been pretty cool, because he's just killing a bunch of people and, like, taking names. So a side story kind of popped up where now you get to see Johnny Blaze, and he's traveling with a companion, and he's kind of like, I don't have any powers anymore. It left me, and now it's with this other guy, and I need to see if I can get it back. And in the meantime, he realized he has, like, residuals left over in him. So he's kind of able to use the Ghost Rider power again, which is like, what is that? You know what that one thing's called?
Spirit of Vengeance.
The Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah. It's like, I guess there's each of the Ghost Riders have a different spirit in them, so they don't all have the same.
Have the spirit.
The spirit. You got spirit?
Rah rah rah.
Yeah, exactly.
I got spirit. How about you?
You guys know how I feel about. Oh yeah. Matano don't like Skottie. This will be your episode, dude. We'll talk about it.
We're gonna convert you.
Yeah. Venom issue 34 came out, and this cover is terrible, but yeah, I'm not sure who did this cover too, because the interiors are done by, so this is Al Ewing and then Ferreira. Ferreira is awesome. It's really cool. I don't think he did this cover because it doesn't look like his artwork. But Coco heard something. And there's this guy that goes along with it. So this is a Blood Hunt tie-in. And this weird creature here is like a space vampire or something, because Venom needed to fight a vampire too, and they found him a vampire. The story was really good, and the artwork was really good. We reviewed it in our first phase 1 of Venom Blood Hunt. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I thought it was kind of a goofy character, but the artwork was stunning. Yeah.
Apparently, this vampire has specifically been around for a while, eating other symbiotes, even though they kind of recently showed up on Earth.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
The space vampire? Yeah, or like the other vampires had him, and then they released him in that coffin bomb, remember? Yeah. I'm not sure.
Kind of interesting.
There's a bunch of rogue vampires. I'm interested to see how they all come back together, but I don't know. They're tying Venom in, and he's got a Skottie. He's got a Skottie. That's one of the better ones, at least, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree about that.
Yeah.
That's a good cover.
Who else got a Skottie? Wolverine got his own
Wolverine.
Skottie as well. This is Wolverine issue number 1, but this is a Blood Hunt tie-in, and our good friend Steve already said he thought it was a really good issue, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. They did a whole bunch of single number 1 minis for some of the characters that are going to be messing with vampires. I'm interested to see who he's fighting. Like which vampire, or just rando vampires?
Probably random vampires.
Yeah, because so far Wolverine has not been in any of the stories so far for vampire-wise. I mean, he's supposed to be wrapping things up with Krakoa, so.
He was a vampire at one point, so maybe he
was he?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. A lot of people were vampires. Jubilee. Was a
Yeah, I
vampire
knew
for-
Jubilee was a vampire for a long time.
Wolverine. I think Psylocke, unless I'm thinking of Domino. Domino was for sure a vampire.
She'd make a good vampire.
Oh, she
a
did.
lucky vampire. And last but not least, we only got one of this because the X-Men 35 came out, and this is the final issue of Krakoa, and it actually lands on Legacy number 700. So it's X-Men 700, Uncanny X-Men 700, the final issue of Krakoa. So if you hated it, there you go. Will be no more after this issue. It's a $10 book though. It's huge. It's pretty heavy. So
I never thought I'd get tired of golden balls.
Golden balls.
Golden balls.
Yeah. Not to get too much into it, basically the other one right before that, the Fall of House of X, I believe, issue number 5, kind of wrapped it up and gave you the ending. This is probably going to give you the transition into, hey, why Punch, how's it going? Into the next world, but the Jean Grey Phoenix kind of solved everything. She kind of swooped in and kicked everyone's butt, and you kind of got that realization that that the Phoenix and Jean are always kind of been the same person, and she's always been inside her since like the beginning. And there's some cool stuff. They actually gave Hope Summers her first origin recently,
Oh, cool.
like just 2 issues ago. Apparently, we've never had the origin of Hope Summers, so now you got it.
Interesting.
Yeah, now you got it. It's connected to Jean. And all that good. It
It
makes sense,
should
right?
connect to Jean.
They're not related.
Hope Summers should be like the daughter of.
Not Hope Summers. Hope. Wait, is Hope's last name Summer?
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Rachel Summers?
No, Hope Summers. Yeah, I didn't know she was related to
I'm
them.
pretty sure.
Is it Hope Summers?
I think it's the daughter of Cyclops and
No. How many kids did they have? No, she has a different mom.
3.
They showed her mom in the thing. The different mom.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Hope?
maybe that's right. But I thought it was Jean's daughter and Scott's because of Summers. She has red hair.
Baki's saying. Baki was saying he's really upset about the current run and Something's Killing the Children. Last 2 issues was BS. I am really far behind on that. I think I read up to issue 25, and then I haven't read past that. But it was good up to that point. But I'll take your word for it for sure. I actually haven't been reading it, so that might be. I don't know very many people that are still reading it.
I only read up to like issue 14 or 15, whichever one that introduced a new Slaughter character. Right, I read all the way up to that part.
I'll check that out though, Baki. I'll see.
Jessica Slaughter?
You got good taste in comics. So I know you're telling us what it is.
What's Jessica?
She was Scott and Jean's daughter from the Days of Future Past, right? Wait, no, that's Rachel.
That's Rachel.
That's Rachel. Hope is the other one. She's the first.
She's redhead though.
But she's the first mutant born after
Messiah.
After M. Yeah, House of M. Is Princess reading Something's Killing the Children? I don't think so, Mill. She should though. She has all the books. She could read it anytime. Last but not, we'll just do the Skotties. Let's do that. We'll do the review. So the Skotties.
Skottie.
Blood Hunt backstory. 2010 X-Men Armor Sword. Ooh. Blood Hunt backstory. 2010. Oh, okay. Oh, Armor Sword. I'll have to check that out. We did try to get their Blood Hunters issue 2 came out, and we did not get that issue because they were missing the wrong cover. So we will get Blood Hunters. Oh, Hope was the first mutant born during the Messiah complex. Or yeah, Cable took her in. Yeah, Cable was her adopted dad. That is true. That was right. Okay, Skottie time. Maybe Princess will show you guys all back to back. So Marvel did this thing, Big Marvel Initiative, I guess. And Skottie's doing, I don't know how many covers Princess said. Is it more than 20? More than 20 covers, which was kind of exciting because we're mainly big fans of Skottie, but these are all like in the same pose, all the same white background. You have like two of the same. And I don't know, his work sometimes looks really good, but and I hate to dog on, but it doesn't look like he put a lot of effort into any of these drawings either. What do you think, Zach?
Other than the Venom one, I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So I looked up the Hope thing real quick. So it's kind of confusing because it was Jean Grey did have the kid, but I haven't got to the part where she went. But anyway, she did have a kid, but she was impregnated by her future Jean Grey self with the Phoenix Force.
Yeah, that just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the daughter of
like
Jean Grey and the Phoenix.
But she has a different mom. Anyway,
that's what it
we're
says.
talking Skottie, dude.
She could have been adopted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So big thing with these is like I think
Weird.
they need to be careful because there's a bunch of Scotties that have like a lot of value right now just because they're Scotties. And if they like flood the market with them all at the same time, that's gonna like destroy the market for Scotties, right, Zach?
Yeah. Yeah, and most of the time there was like one Skottie maybe a month.
Yeah.
Now we got like 7 of them all at once, which is ridiculous.
I like how Zach creates new words in the English vocabulary.
What word did I create?
Oh, what's that? I don't know.
Oh.
You're always creating new words.
Yeah, unlike Dr. Seuss.
That's true. A little bit of Dr.
He made a lot of new names.
But
because he was a doctor.
Skottie Youngs, be careful. I think we're still going to get some of these just because we're big fans of Skottie here, but at the same time, like, this is not a good Marvel. If you hear this, not a good decision at all. And you basically, like, with this special big Marvel Skottie thing, you let everybody know which ones are, like, not the good Skotties. Like, it's going to be, like, really obvious to everybody, like, when they're, like, selling them later on, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, the big Marvels. That's the one where they put out, like, 20 Scotties in, like, a month or more than that.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so definitely, I know a lot of you guys feel about some of them anyways in general, but leave your comments down below. Let us know, like, if you feel like Marvel overdid it, oversaturated with some of this stuff, you know, like, just don't go crazy. There is such thing as too much of a good thing, right? Guardians of the Galaxy 25 are so rare, Skottie Young. Ooh, it's a ghost. Yeah, there's some really good ones out there, and I don't want to, like, ruin it with all this stuff, too. Raise the Pirates beat the Dodgers. That's National League. Do your guys' pitchers still hit? Just kidding. I don't want to start a baseball fight. All right. Last but not least, The Ultimates, issue number 1 came out. And yeah, we just thought we'd review that for you guys. Let you know how it all turned out. They already have the first... It's sort of an event, but not really, right? Because none of the characters from the other books are in it.
Yeah, none of them, except for Spider-Man shows up like in
a picture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that. But there is the John Tyler Christopher Negative Space variant, which is cool. It has Tony in his ultimate uniform, mm-hmm. Ultimate armor, which is kind of very similar to Iron Lad, which he also goes by the name of Iron Lad, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah, so far.
So we'll break it down. I can help you out with the backstory if you need, Zach, since I actually just reread.
Yeah, backstory.
Yeah. So the backstory, this doesn't really connect to like Spider-Man, Black Panther, or X-Men, which is going on at the same time, but it directly connects to it's like Ultimate Invasion, and then whatever the other one was right after that, Ultimate Universe. It directly connects to Ultimate Universe. So the maker, who is Reed Richards from the old Ultimate Universe, has jumped around to different places, and he has created his own new universe. And he went through and like plucked out all the things he didn't like about it. Basically, got rid of most of the heroes. He created his own council of like not necessarily villains, but just people that he could control. A lot of them are villains, but some of them are not. Like Magic's on the council, and she's not a villain.
And then Captain Britain.
Yeah, and at a certain point, he enlists Tony Stark's dad and his to help him out, and he he tricks him and like sets off this bomb which traps the maker inside this area for 18 months. So I didn't really realize that's how long it was. This book puts a little concept into it, but he traps him in this area and he can't get out and he's like stuck there. So everyone in this alternate universe kind of has free range to like do what they need to do in 18 months. And the team that helped trap him was Tony Stark, who is a younger person, and he goes by the name of Iron Lad. He's much, much younger. And then you've got Thor, who they released. He was actually like a prisoner in Asgard. And you've got Reed Richards from this universe, who dresses like Doom. And so far, I can't tell if he has any powers that we know of other than being super smart. And they get Lady Sif as well, who joins them by accident. She was actually kind of working for Loki at the time, but she joins them to like keep an eye on Thor. And they also find Captain America frozen in ice, and he's never been de-thawed. So, and that leads us to now where basically we have the team, and everyone thinks Tony was a mass murderer. He's the one that they think blew up this giant bomb that killed all these important people in the Marvel Universe. And bam, we're in the Ultimates.
Yeah, so they're talking about, the mistake that happened, whatever, the bomb and everything that tried to take them out, but they were able to escape through time traveling. The Mortis
engine,
yeah, that's actually placed in Iron Lad's chest.
Oh, okay, cool.
From what I'm understanding.
Yeah. Oh, before we get too far, this book is written by Dennis Camp, so not Jonathan Hickman, which a lot of people were surprised about that he didn't write this since he's kind of like the main architect. Although I actually think it's written very similar to how Hickman would write, so he's definitely channeling his inner Hickman, if that's a thing. And he is the same guy that wrote the Free Comic Book Day, so that's why it feels very similar to the Free Comic Book Day. And Juan Frigeri is the artist, and it looks really good. So
pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Next page. All right. So now they're making the game plan. They're all in this room. Frozen, Captain America, Iron Lad, Dr. Doom, aka Reed Richards, the good, quasi-good one. Thor got his butt kicked in the previous story for this.
Yeah, like Captain Britain like stabbed him with a magic sword, so he like can't heal from it. So he's like kind of bleeding out.
And Sif is like, oh, poor Thor, rubbing his belly or something. Not really, but they're talking about like, oh, their game plan.
Oh,
they're
thank you, Mill.
They're on a satellite that's in space, right? And it's like a research satellite that Stark and what's it called? Stain.
Stain. Yeah, Stark Stain.
Stain, the company.
Yeah.
Jointly created off the books, so it's super secret times 10, and they're making a plan called the Ultimates 1.0, and the plan is to send all these little globe things in the past 6 months, and these globes are systematically placed with heroes and potential heroes that kind of fit this algorithm that Tony Stark made. And that whole idea is they send it back in time, and because of the Mortis engine, you can go like 4 levels of time all at once, or at least that's
use 4 different dimensions. Yeah,
it's all this stuff happens all at once, and so they decide that's the best course of action. And then Captain America's like, "This is a stupid plan."
It's just like it's very similar to how Spider-Man got his powers back. It kind of makes sense because like Tony did the same thing. He had a special little ball that basically explained everything about Peter from the other universe and what he could have become. Plus, it had his suit in it too, which is like kind of what they're doing with this, where they have like all this information in this little ball. But go ahead, you were saying.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. And some people think it's a dumb idea.
Hey, Ismail, how's it going?
And of course, Tony's like misses his father, so he's kind of, I think throughout this is kind of writing a letter to his father, saying like, "Hey, we're trying to fix things that you messed up, you jackass." No, but basically, it's kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of a nice little touch. So they're talking about, and they're implementing it. Oh yeah, they also unfroze Captain America while they were doing this, and then they told him that America fell in 1969, and he didn't take it very well.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. That's gonna be a hard thing to keep like straight in the timeline. That like America doesn't exist anymore, and like where's Peter and all of them been living? Like not in America?
In New Great Britain or so. I don't know. I have
Yeah,
no
it does
idea.
say something. It's like North America. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like North America or something. But
Yeah. And then, it shows them doing a bunch of algorithms and all that to figure out how to set all this in the right place at the right time. And there's like a lot of formulas, a lot of bad stuff. So they think it should work. And they find out that some of it worked. Like
most of it did not, though.
Most of it did not. Generally, it did not work. And
yeah, like send the balls back. They thought they'd just like look out the window and there'd be all the heroes would be back, but pretty much like none of them came back.
Yeah, and it ended up them taking. Apparently, a bunch of people died because of this, and they got like 2 or 3 heroes, maybe 4.
Yeah, boy.
They know for sure 2, and they're like, oh, we messed up. And then Doom's like, well, Ultimus 2.0. It's like, what's Ultimus 2.0? We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Force it on people. And fight crime in the here and now. Instead of like the passive thing that they tried at first.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, everyone hit the like button for Princess. And Zach's doing a good job explaining the book, too.
Yeah, so we're going to do things the proper way. And we're not going to use the Mortis engine no more because that thing is broken.
Yeah.
That thing sucks.
I thought it was kind of cool. Like, it gives you that, like in a lot of the Avengers movies in the MCU where they're, like, solving a lot of problems, like, in a lab. I feel like they do that, like, a whole bunch of times in all the movies, They're like, how are we going to figure out time travel? And they're like, get in this lab with Bruce. It's kind of similar to that, like, each this way. It feels that similar to it.
Dude, guys, just because it was a superhero movie, it's smart. They're in a lab. They're talking about science.
Yeah.
And the gamma rays.
But in a good way. I like that they're, like, actually, like, going through the problem of how they're going to fix it. They literally have a chalkboard that they're, like, writing, like, Ultimates 2.0. Like, the next, the first one didn't work. Beta test.
Yeah. Imagery board. Anyways, now it jumps to, let's say, the Hoboken, New Jersey. Hoboken, New Jersey. And guess what? It's some of our favorite people. You got Hope Van Dyne and what's his name?
Hank Pym.
Excuse me.
Who's the other guy?
And they're not CEOs of any company or superheroes. They're exterminators.
Yeah.
They actually might own the exterminating company. Anyways, they kill bugs instead of being them or controlling them. And they go to this, I'm guessing it's a pizzeria. It's a restaurant, some kind of restaurant. And guy says, hey, the pests are in the basement. Take them out. I need to run my business. And they go downstairs and they're like, these are intelligent underground dwelling people. We can't.
Yeah, that was a weird twist. I didn't understand. There was like guy's like, I need you to kill these pests that are in my basement. Then he goes down, there's like some weird aliens down there. They're like fungi aliens or something.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, just kill them. And you're like, no, we're not gonna do that.
It's like a whole family.
Yeah, there's like a kid and a mom and something. He's like, yeah, I'll get rid of the body if you kill them. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, Jose.
And apparently in this universe, it's illegal to kill sentient beings.
Yeah, that was weird. The guy's like, yeah, like we could have just killed them
so.
because like it's not even illegal, but I just didn't want to. I'm like, that was a weird. I don't think it had anything else to do with the rest of the story. That was a strange added.
And they're saying, man, this world sucks. I wish someone would change it. And as I was going on, suddenly Tony's AI, no, not AI, but Tony's 3D projection shows up. Hey, we need you as a team. And then they're like, no, we're not doing it. And the only person they really talked to 6 months in the past was Hank, and Hope didn't know anything.
Yeah, it's like they tried to give him those balls 6 months ago, but then like Hank took them and didn't give it to her, Janet.
Yeah, they tried to give him some balls, and they had a lot of balls to do that.
There's a reason why, though. There's a reason why he didn't give her the ball.
You get, because he has brain damage and.
Well, that too, but also he looked at the ball because they can look at it and see how their counterparts are in the 616 universe, and he's like, dude, Hank Pym is not a good man. Like, not a good. This is like. They always have every opportunity to not have him be a wife beater. I think he's always a wife beater in like every iteration of Hank Pym. And he like looks at the ball and he's like, the Hank Pym from 616 is a wife beater. He's like, I don't want to be that guy. So he like doesn't want to take the power.
Makes sense.
I thought that was kind of, they always go back to that. Remember that time we made him beat his wife?
Yeah. And then, they wouldn't stop. So Tony asked Thor to, hey, gently, politely stop them. Well, he threw a hammer through their engine. So I guess that means polite in Asgardian. Or ass. So they stop him, they talk to him, they get attacked by Great Britain and his cronies.
Yeah. Which is that weird that he speaks French too?
Yeah, a little. Maybe
like they have him always speaking French all the time.
Oui, bon de play.
Oh.
I don't know any French words. Bon appetit. Anyways, they're explaining what's happening and all of that, and then eventually Hope takes on the mantle of Wasp, and then when the team gets a little beaten down a little bit, eventually Hank takes on the Giant Man mantle, and I'm assuming also the Ant-Man mantle.
Yeah, it's a big struggle between like him deciding whether to use it, because like I said, he believes that his counterpart is like a bad guy, and he's like, if I become this character, then I may turn into a bad guy, and they're kind of like, we need you, and the team's kind of losing to
a little bit.
I don't know why that guy's so powerful, Captain Britain.
I don't know.
French Captain Britain, but
Yeah.
he is. He's like really powerful for some reason. There's a lot of good witty banter in there when they talk about like, because he got his eye cut out in like the last issue, Captain Britain, and he's like, well, he chose the clear eye. He's like, I could help you get a real looking eye if you want, like messing with him. Get that painted for you, buddy. Get you a nice 8 mil.
Yeah, and nice. And they're fighting, of course, and Thor's fighting the giants because he's used to that, and Tony's fighting Captain Britain because they have a score to settle, and all this stuff is happening, and suddenly he's like, hey, you know what? We need to make our mark. He said something witty like that, and then blah blah blah, they talk, and then Hank becomes Giant Man, and he crushes Captain Britain's cronies. Not Captain Britain.
No, I think he crushed Captain Britain.
No,
too.
he gets away.
Did he?
He gets away.
Oh, I thought they said he killed him.
Nope, he gets away.
Oh, all right, I missed that part.
See, there he is. He got away.
That's not after the foot smashed.
Gets away.
When?
One more. And they want you by Coke. There it is.
Where does he get away? That's him.
Oh, it says
Even if he survived. They don't know if he survived.
Probably survived.
They squished him.
If you don't see the body, he survived.
Mm.
And they're now like, Ultimates 2.0. Last page. We did it. Let's grow the team. They're excited. They got their first win, more or less. And yeah, that's how it ends. And it shows the draft of his letter to his father, Tony's letter to his father, whatever his name is. Anthony? What was his name?
Anthony's his name.
Howard
Stark.
That's right.
So, what'd you think?
I thought it was entertaining. It had a little bit of action, a little story building, a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say it's like mind-blowing, but it kind of answers a bunch of questions like what happened to Maker. He's in the city.
Yeah.
He's in his time. Instead of 18 months, it's 18 months in the Ultimate universe. It's like 2,000 years in the city.
Yeah. Well, because that's originally where they were stuck. Like Reed, the Doctor Doom Reed, and Howard Stark were both stuck in there together with him originally. That's why they were like building all this crap for him, because they're like the two smartest guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they explain a lot and kind of gives a time period of when stuff's gonna really go down. So they have to build the team, something that they can actually go after the Maker with.
Yeah.
With his team already made the Maker's Council. So it's a lot of, it kind of makes your mind work. It's like, what's the new future? What's going to happen in the near future?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was almost a 4. It's like a 3.8.
What did you think?
Out of 5.
Good or not good? Medium? All right. I actually thought the story was really well executed. There's a lot of good, like, funny banter. It was really exciting. Like I said, a lot of good action, a lot of good smartness to it. The only negative I got was that it was, like, really similar to, like, the real universe. Like, they're basically putting together the exact same Avengers minus the Hulk, which was, like, I don't know. I'd rather have it be completely different, you know what I mean? You know? And then also they put, like, a time limit on it. So now it's, like, 18 months. maker's gonna get out. So something's gonna end in 18 months.
Yeah.
But good though. It's good. I don't know if we needed another Ultimate story, but it's a good one. It's good. I'm happy. I'm happy with it, and I'm glad they didn't pull in any of the other characters yet. Leave those other characters alone. Let them build up their world a little bit better. But I wanted to touch on the Righteous Flipper said some really good stuff.
Oh, cool.
Definitely about Skottie Young covers and how he thinks that they're oversaturating the market and that it would definitely hurt the collectability. I totally agree with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how it's similar to stuff that happened in the 90s. And
yeah,
with some of that, because I mean, when in the beginning of the 90s or end of the 80s, when a lot of the comic books like jumped up in price and everyone was really excited about it. They're like, oh, you can make a ton of money on comics, and they're like so collectible. They're like, everyone should get it, and they'll all be collector's items. So then they just made a ton of number ones, and like they made like millions of copies of them and stuff like that, and it like crashed the whole market. Well, it's kind of like you're saying, it's kind of the same thing. It's like the market is telling everybody like these Scotties are worth good money because people really enjoy them, and they're collectible because they're kind of scarce and they came out here and there, and like Marvel realizes that, so they're like, let's just dump the market, like let's just make like 50 different covers all at the same time, which could destroy that whole collectible market for that. So
yeah, very well could.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't, but you never know. I mean, I think like it's not quite the same thing, but the Alex Ross covers, the timeless ones, I feel like his books covers are not as expensive as they probably should be after there's like so many of those timeless covers, which a lot of those were good, but at the same time, like I don't know too many people that collect Alex Ross covers either. And they probably should, right?
Yeah. Other than like the classic Alex Ross covers, like
thanks, Andrew.
All of them are really good, but you only need like probably 5 of them to
see you.
Get the full collection that you need for Alex Ross. Whereas Skottie, as of right now, there's like 20 or 30, if not more.
Yeah.
That you need to the Grail list, anyways.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
But that wraps up the show. Glad you guys were all able to make it out and chat with us, talk about New Comic Book Day, bitch about Scotties, all this crazy, the big Marvel initiatives. A lot of those are crazy. But as always, guys, do us a huge favor. Hit the like button again. Subscribe. Notification bell. Don't hit the like button twice, though. You can hit it 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not twice. Only odd numbers. Surprisingly, that's the one time odd numbers are good. Prince is looking at me like, are you crazy? Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to go to someone's house, take their dog, and then make people that live in that house subscribe to ComicGains. Imagine if every house we came and took their dog, and if you want them back, you got to subscribe. And that's how you get those gains. Those puppy gains. Is that right, Google?
Right.
Get those puppy gains.
Thanks, Bill. See you guys all on Saturday. Until then, stay safe and remember,
get those gains.
Get
a lot of those gains on Whatnot with ComicGains. Later, gainers.
Bye, guys.
See ya on Whatnot.